is the first part to a two-part series on the 6 reasons your marketing doesn't work. It has nothing to do with the way that your Google Analytics are set up. It has nothing to do with how good your cable commercial looks. It has nothing to do with the type of postage you put on your direct mail. It has nothing to do with that. This is back to basics, fundamentals of marketing stuff, which the reason that I want to give you these tools is so that you can measure what you're ultimately investing a whole bunch of money in. I'm going to give you a mantra to start today's episode. Keep it in the forefront of your mind as we talk about these things. If it is not getting you results, don't do it. If it's not getting me results, I don't do it. I wouldn't expect you to do it if it's not getting you results. The first thing that all of our marketing has to do in some way, above all else, is make an offer. We have to absolutely make an offer. Content is not king. Don't buy the hype. Content is not king. Who's the king? Sales. A sale is always, has always, will always be the king. Content isn't king. Content is bullshit that marketing agencies sell you because they don't know how to sell anything. You know how to sell. That's the business you came up in, right? Look around. You've been doing it for 20, 30 years. You know how to sell stuff. Don't buy their bullshit. You have to make an offer that is going to compel people, right? So it has to be pretty clear. I saw a commercial the other day of a dealership who has put out a challenge that they're going to try to sell so many vehicles over a certain period. Hey, that's really cool for you, Mr. Dealer. Nobody cares. What's in it for me? It's the only thing. It's the only question you have to answer for your prospect is what's in it for them. Tell them what's in it for them. Tell them what that offer is and how to take advantage of it. Ideally, you're going to make them an offer that I like to call the Godfather offer. Make me an offer I can't refuse. That's the offer you need to be making, something aggressive. It doesn't mean giving away your product, but is it, hey, I'm going to give you more for your trade. Well, how much more, right? You just work through these questions and you're going to find the answers for yourself. You don't need a marketing degree. You don't need a big fancy e-course. You don't need an agency to figure these things out. You are a consumer. You can figure these things out. So, hey, we're going to give you more for your trade. How much more? We'll give you 110% of Kelley Blue Book value. People don't know how to leave a tip on a check. Do you think that they know how to calculate 110% of their vehicle? Hey, no, I'm going to give you $1,500 more than Kelley Blue Book. $1,500 is tangible. Wow, $1,500. Gosh, that would take me 3 weeks to save up $1,500. That would take me 6 months to save up $1,500. It's tangible. I know what it is. I can be compelled with an offer that I like to call the Godfather offer. Number 2. This is super, super important, right? We need sales today, not tomorrow, especially today being the last day of the month. A reason to respond. That's a D. Right freaking now. I don't know how well the orange is showing up. It looks like crap, actually, as I look in the camera. But that says reason to respond right now. What happens a lot of times, people get tempted. They get almost there, and then they have to think about it and shop around. So they leave your website. They leave your store to go home and think about it, shop around. You must pull them across the line, right? We've talked about this. Marketing pulls, sales pushes. You have to pull them across the line with that compelling offer and a reason to respond right freaking now. Not next week, not next month, not 6 months from now. Hey, the deal is right now. The reason, again, answer that with them. What's in it for you? I'm going to come back to the same example of the, hey, we're giving you more for your trade. Your car has never been worth more than it is right now, right here today. It's not going to be worth the same amount 6 months from now. In fact, it's probably going to be worth less. Would you pay more, Mr. Customer, for a vehicle that's older, has more miles, and is in need of more maintenance than you would a vehicle that didn't need any of those things? Well, no, logically you wouldn't. But our marketing oftentimes doesn't communicate these things. What we like to do is to put a message out there that's sort of just running on hope. And that brings me to the third of 6 reasons. Again, this is the first part of a 2-part episode. Number 3 is clear instructions. That example that I gave of the dealer who had put out the challenge to sell a certain number of cars in a certain number of days. Cool. That's really good for you, Mr. Dealer. Don't know what's in it for me. I don't even know, are you making me an offer? And if you are making an offer, the hell am I supposed to do with that? It's not a failure on the dealership's part. It's a failure by the marketing company who did not communicate that to the client. It's a failure on the ad agency who allowed the client to sit there and do what they thought was right. But hey, that's not why you pay your ad agency. You pay them for expertise. Here I am giving it to you for free. Shame on them for not giving you the tools to be successful and for just wasting money. Again, you want to blow money, I could give you my address. You could just send me stacks of $100 bills. I promise you I'll do really, really cool stuff with it. Or just, you know what, shred up $20 bills, flush it down the toilet, whatever would be better. But shame on them for not giving you the guidance to be successful with all of your campaigns. You got to give clear instructions. I'm going to give you $1,500 more for your trade. Why is that important for you to do right now? Because it's never going to be worth more than it is today. What to do next is visit my website. Call this number. Come in today between 9 and 5. You need to tell people what to do. We've been conditioned to respond to instruction. Stop on red, go on green. That's it. I'm seeing if I got any more notes here, but those are your first three things. Let's see. Oh, this is actually a good point on instructions. Sometimes when we do give instructions, they're confusing, or again, there's no directions. And in either scenario, whether you have confusing directions or you have no directions, you are not going to make the sale, right? Sometimes we give too much information during the physical sale process, and what do people say? You know what? I got a lot to think about. I got to go home and think about it. I got to talk to my wife. I got to go home and do this. I'm going to ask my neighbor. I'm going to consult with my goat. It doesn't change the fact that we at some point have muddled up the process, and it has to start with the marketing. Stop hoping. Start closing.